All right, hello everyone. I just want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join me to talk about this very serious issue of alcohol use disorder with you. So, the first thing I wanted to jump right into is what is alcohol use disorder? And according to the DSM-5, this is a diagnosis where a person has a problematic pattern of alcohol use that causes distress or impairment in daily life. And the symptoms can range from mild, moderate, or severe, depending on how many symptoms they have at 11. And to be diagnosed with this, they only need to meet two of the 11 criteria. And I do want to share what that criteria is, just a couple examples. So this could look like craving it, giving up on activities, you get using alcohol in an unsafe manner, building a tolerance and having withdrawal from alcohol. And that's not all the symptoms, but I just want to give a rundown of what symptoms may look like. Um, and so next, I just want to talk about why this is important for the youth that we work with. And I just want to start off by giving you a number of alcohol use disorders for youth in 2024. And this data shows that 3% of youth overall had an alcohol use disorder, also known as AUD. 4.1% of girls had it, and then 1.9% of boys had it. But I also wanted to add the number of alcohol consumption for youth in 2024 because not everybody meets the criteria for a diagnosis. However, I think it's still important that we notice when a youth is partaking in alcohol consumption. So also put that information on here, which 16% of students reported drinking alcohol in the past year, 6.6 reported drinking in the past month, and then 3.5 reported binge drinking in the past month. And then I just want to give you a little bit of the impact that it has on youth development. And the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism reports that drinking alcohol during youth age may impact cognitive function, memory, emotional control, decision making, and school performance over time. And in school, this could look like lower grades, poor attendance, less motivation, difficulty concentrating, behavior referrals, and just overall increased risk taking. And then with teens, it can also increase related concerns such as depression, anxiety, suicide, aggression, unsafe sexual behavior, driving or riding with somebody under the influence, family conflict, and then just anything involved with discipline or juvenile system. So it just puts them more at risk for these issues. And I just want to give you guys my role. So if you do happen to spot a youth that you might think are using a substance, this I just want to let you know my role. And so as a school social worker, I will screen for alcohol use concerns using the craft assessment tool. And this tool just basically helps me find out if the student using alcohol or any substance is high risk, and it can help us lead to what can we do moving forward. So we can like assess for trauma, depression, anxiety, family stress, peer pressure, grief, and or safety concerns if it leads to that. We also provide interventions after school and away from the school, such as family-based therapy sessions, CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, and then motivational interviewing and motivational enhancement therapy, which remain strategies that tend to help the present problems that they have. And when needed, we could definitely refer to outside resources if the risk is too high. But we want to also make sure that we're working with caregivers. I want to make sure I'm working with the school staff. So that means teachers, other counselors, administration, community providers. And then overall, I just want to advocate for youth, help with any academic accommodations that we can have for them when substance use or any mental health related concerns are affecting school function. And then I just want to also help reduce the shame and stigma so students are more willing to receive help from staff members. So something that I wanted to share with you guys. Where what can you guys do as teachers, staff members, just faculty of the school? So as a teacher, you see the student pretty much every day, pretty much all staff do, but definitely as a teacher. So if you do suspect that a student might be using substances, the first thing you want to do is start with care and observation. It's nice. It would be nice to notice if you do see them changes, and then just focus on the changes in the behavior, like. Have they been more tired recently? Have they not been turning their work when they normally do? And then overall, you just want to create a safe space for the student to share what may be happening. So an example of this is, hey, I noticed you've been seeming really tired lately and your schoolwork has changed. I'm worried about you. How are things going? And this starts off with what you see rather than accusing them of what they may be doing. And this can help them talk to you and just be more open to you. So how can we, as other staff members, involved? What can we do? So if you have any concerns about a student, I want you to share your concerns with the school social worker, so me or the other school social worker or the student support team. So if you're not a teacher, but you do happen to know that teacher, you can share it with them, and that teacher could then share it with me. Even if the student does deny alcohol use or substance use, we can still screen them, figure out what's going on with them, and get them the appropriate help that they need. And then again, we want to make sure we contact the student's parents or guardians just to share the information we learned, because we don't know what's going on at home. And the same thing could be going on at home where their behaviors have changed at home. And we just want to get a full picture of what's going on. So we just want to we just want to support students in the classroom, such as allowing flexible support, which is like counseling passes to see a social worker or school counselor, breaks if needed, help, and any makeup work that would help the student succeed. And then if you are suspecting that a student is using alcohol, or if they're acting out of the norm, having calm check-ins in private rather than a public confrontation will be a lot of help with them trusting us as well as us trusting what they say. So I did want to share some resources for students who may be dealing with alcohol use. And there is a national help line that these students can use free, and it's very confidential. So they can get them set up with treatment referral, any information for them and their families. And it's 24/7, and they have it in different languages for the student, just so if they feel like they need immediate help and they don't feel like they have a trusted adult to talk to, they can go talk to them and get the help that they need. I also want to share a list of coping skills that a student might find beneficial and that you can share with the student or incorporate if you're a teacher in the classroom, or if you're just somebody who wants to pass along a message. So we want to practice mindful meditation, exercises, get our body moving, get ourselves in the right headset, journaling to write down our feelings, if we don't know how to say it, just journal it. If the kid don't want to like verbally say it, just having them jot down, letting them talk to a therapist or counselor, or even a sponsor if they are connected with a sponsor. We want to make sure they build a sober support network, meaning the people around them are good for their environment and keeping them safe and healthy, and overall just keeping them busy and their mind off of using alcohol and moving on to the more helpful coping skills. And then the last thing that I wanted to add was something for the parents, because parents may feel really lost during this journey. So there is an online support group led by parent coaches for parents and caregivers who might have children dealing with or that are dependent on substances. And I feel like this is really important because we want to make sure that the parents are involved with their healing journey so they can know how to best support them at home. Because yes, we have the majority throughout the day. However, parents see them more at home and they're more able to help them at home. So this is the end of my presentation. I want to thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.